Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Behind the Mic Stand. The scenery's changed, but the love is all the same. I'm very excited to have this guest. Now, we have a legendary guest, so we had to be at a legendary venue. We are here with one of the greatest vocalists of multiple generations, one of the greatest singers out here today. He has influenced and inspired generations after generations, from Alicia Keys to Brittany Fouché to me, Alex Babbitt. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to introduce him beyond just his name. You'll know him, you'll love him. Make some noise for the one and only Craig Derry. What's up, Craig?
Us. We still at it.
Come on. For people who don't know, you're an amazing vocalist, musician, and just teacher, right? And I've been a big fan of you. I met you, Miss Hope, when I was in high school. And what is it that you've always seemed so interested in me because of how much you care about art and people? You stay around young people. What is that?
Well, I don't stay around them. I look up and there they are. I guess what I'm saying is relevant enough to still make sense. So that's all we're trying to do, really help people navigate, you know?
Yeah.
And we're in show business, so navigating that can be a bit cumbersome sometimes. So, you know, you get enough knots, you learn the way, you know?
Yeah, because I've seen you navigate so many different people's like energies, personalities, but you always stay so strong and like you're, I'll be real with you. Your level of shit talking has never diminished. And I love that.
I don't know if my mother would like, it's called shit talking, but.
Well, okay, what would she call it?
Shit talking. Boy, why you talking all that shit?
Yeah.
Well, you know, hey, just like Pops. That's Pops would talk that same thing.
Yeah. That's we're gonna have some moments with people walking back and forth, but it's all good. Don't even worry about it. You good. Run.
It's a pleasant disturbance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
A beautiful woman, man. It happens every time. Don't even worry about it. That's yeah. What is that with that? Like the way you communicate. Was that mom? Because I actually don't know much about like your origin because you're a part of so many other people's origins. So it's like, what was yours? What got you into music early?
Well, my dad was a musician. So I'm born 1948 from Lewis Chamberlain Derry and Rebecca Louise Bell. Mm-hmm. Last name Bell. Bell must have been a big plantation because I know a lot of bells. Everybody be ringing that bell.
Yeah, it's Bells and Smith, bro.
No, funny, Washington. I have never seen a white Washington. Washington was getting it in. Jefferson too. You remember Carell, right?
Yeah.
Carell's daughter has Thomas Jefferson DNA.
That's crazy. Carell's daughter was going out of pocket that wild?
Yeah.
No, Thomas Jefferson was going that crazy.
Yes, Thomas Jefferson was.
Yeah, they were all messing with black women at different points.
I mean, we was just all getting it in with each other, you know? So, to me, seeing things from that perspective.
Wait, hold on. We got to let her through. Talking about Thomas Jefferson. Got her excited. She had to get out of here. Thank you.
But seeing things from that perspective and how we've all been here for hundreds of years just puts a different light on everything for me. Mm-hmm. You know, my father was a musician, so he had... He used to be in front of people, so everybody's a little comic. You have to be a satirist. You have to be an actor, an actress, musician, performer. So that's really what I would learn to do from him, and then in the pros.
Yeah, was that and that was the era of musicians where people were entertainers. Like that was the standard.
Yeah, well, they all. I mean. Our people created the art form, that eventually became the classic. I call it the classic American art form because it happened over here, and because of the freedom that we're allowed to have, and it's not royal freedom; it's the freedom to say anything you want to say out your mouth. You know what I mean? It's not like serving the king or the queen.
Yeah, you could say what you want. You could do.
Well, even in history, when King George said to there's a whole play. This Alexander Hamilton. These guys were little thugs. You wonder why we got so many problems in the street today. They're just doing like the founders. So George said, we know you guys like tea. Oh, we're gonna sell you tea and then charge you for it. And Alexander Hamilton said, man, fuck you, we ain't paying, we don't like you. Get out of here. We ain't paying you nothing. Nothing. You ain't getting nothing but one of these slugs. So, I mean, this is the great Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
So, if they're swagging like that, there's no mystery why half of us got their last names.
Criminals made this country see like, hey.
Come on, man.
So when you're doing crime, it's the American way, is what you say?
Yeah, the way is, well, I won't call it criminal, but it is, it looks like it's terminal because we're coming to the end of some wild shit. It's very interesting to be an entertainer or a singer or a writer. Yeah. If you don't mind telling the truth of what you're saying, America is, for that reason, is very unique. Great to be a performer here.
Yeah. And
if you got the balls, you got to, you have to have the temerity, excuse me, for balls.
every other second, he gonna be like, my apologies. Like you got the formal tones, but you say whatever you want to say.
Freedom.
Yeah.
America.
And I enjoy. So like you said, okay, Pops was a musician. Now, seeing it, were you like, okay, I want to be a musician as well? I want to be like Pops?
Well, you know what? It was by just being around. It was
happenstance.
It's insemination. This dude would practice for hours. He played the trumpet and the piano, so he might start playing the trumpet at around 11:30, 12 noon. He'd get finished with that at 5 and then pick up the piano until 10:30, 11 p.m. at night. Every day. So that's what I grew up around. He discovered that we like music, my brother, my sister, and he says, learn something about it. So he encouraged us, showed us how to read, and we all played instruments in school, right up until college. And we learned from him. He was, he's a pretty interesting guy, little Harlemite.
Yeah. Oh, you from Harlem?
Yeah, he's from Harlem. I grew up where they ultimately settled up in the North Bronx, Edenmore Projects.
Shit! I didn't know you was from New York.
I'm from New York, New Rochelle, up around that area.
Yeah.
Athlete, went to college, playing ball. My parents couldn't afford to send me to school, so we got scholarship athletics, important part. But we always were encouraged to do music, so studied music, learned it in school, grew up in it.
Yeah, it was part of your origin so much as so you did the athlete thing and that was cool. But then was there a point where you because you've done everything, you've toured, you've wrote. So what was that transition?
Well, they wouldn't play us. Remember now, I went to school in 1966. 1966, I got a scholarship.
Oh shit! Was integration around? I don't mean to sound crazy.
No. It was a better word that rhymes with integration. It's called aggravation.
Oh.
And so we were appointed to aggravate the entire United Snakes of America.
Yeah, go crazy, Craig. Go crazy.
And so we found ourselves in places where they weren't used to seeing us, And we were left. Malcolm and Martin and all the dignitaries declared it, but the ones who had to really live it from the beginning. Matter of fact, I had scholarships down south. My father wouldn't let me. He said, you ain't going down south. You guys are from New York. You see 2 water fountains, you're going to drink out the closest water fountain. So I'm not sending you down there with that bullshit. No. Yeah. He says, better for you to go up north. I said, yeah, Dad, but there's no blacks up there. He said, you black.
Good enough.
So you can go up there. So it was a very interesting time to see the two cultures
come together.
Yeah, well, they clanged it together. It wasn't coming.
They clawed and screamed. They did something.
Well,
merged a little bit.
It was, it was caustic. It was dissonant. It wasn't harmonic.
Yeah.
And we began to sing. They wouldn't play us at first.
So you couldn't perform, like when you say play, like you were singing at this time.
I wasn't singing, I was playing ball, but I was fortunate. I played wide receiver in my school, but it was blatant. I grew up in New York, but out here it was blatant racism. So white people would say stuff in front of you and we would go,
it's crazy.
what? So we were in school and the coach says, we're happy to have you young colored boys here now. It's the golden era now. We're integrating the United States of America. We're really proud to have you here. We're going to, I want you to understand one thing, though. We don't want you dating Caucasian women on campus.
How fast did you? Did you?
No. Well, I'm 18 now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a young person. I never heard this kind of shit before. All the other guys they're from down south. Ronald Morgan is from Hot Springs, Arkansas. He says, "You awesome." And then David Slater's from Houston, Texas. And he's, "You awesome, boss." You know, I know. And then King David Brown's from Tallahassee, Florida. He goes, "Well, yeah, we know." And then he got around to me and I had a piece of paper. I said, "Hey, man, this is my father's phone number. You don't tell me nothing about social, only athletics. You don't tell me about how to live life. But here's my father's number. You call him and run it by him if he say it's okay."
What did Pop say?
Pop said, "Watch what you're doing. You in some crazy shit. But keep up the good work. You got me into it. Got me in it." So when I said that to them, he let all the other brothers go out the room and they kept me in the room by myself. Mm-hmm. So I mean, this was the temperament of the entire country.
Yeah.
I kind of recognized a little bit. They all talked like Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't mince his words. I'd rather have somebody be white. Don't be faking. And then when I get in the room, you the Klan.
Yeah. Chris said, just be the Klan.
Just be President Klan.
Yeah, if you the Klan, be the Klan. Stop doing all this coming to Black Lives rallies. It's a waste.
Hey, listen, there's only two colors, alive and dead. The rest of this shit is bullshit. And so that's what I learned, you know.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Miss Hope? Hey.
That's what we learned coming coming from parents. So, and my parents would have probably told me, you can't be so, you can't be ill-mannered or watch what you say. But my old man would say, "Listen, man, don't worry about what they call you. Just don't let them call you late for dinner."
Yeah. Craig got all the quotes. It's the truth, though.
But when your parents plant this in you, then when you come up to situations where you wouldn't have been forewarned, you might panic. So I wasn't being a wise guy. I just was doing what my parents told me.
Yeah.
So when the coach said, "You do this or that," I said, "Nah, man, you call my old man. If you can get him to go along with that,
then I'll follow suit."
Then I'll follow suit.
Yeah.
He let all the brothers out the room and kept me in the room by myself.
It's a lot of importance to what you just described of like having family that not only supports but like also because they enforced a level of confidence that at that time everybody wouldn't have. You know what I mean? Because they could have said, "Yo, follow suit to keep you alive." They could have just simply been like, "Do whatever the white guy does." But you weren't raised around that.
No. Well, there was a consciousness about light and what was right and what was wrong. Mm-hmm. So, my old man didn't raise a racist. He didn't tell me, "Man, dirty white, you need to kill him." He said, "No." He said, "Listen, you listen to what comes out their mouth is who they are." And so you have to be man enough or an adult enough or smart enough to answer. You don't have to be afraid to answer. You answer what's inside of you. This is what they say. They say this is the land of the free. This is America. Mm-hmm. So if they can only tolerate freedom in their own living room neighborhoods, then they're lying. You don't have to listen to liars.
Yeah.
Ever.
Regardless of what they look like.
of what. So this is what, man, I didn't know what he meant until I got tested. All of a sudden, you raise up your kids, and when you send them away, if they're going to do like you told them, they're going to be true to that. So when the coach did that, he let all them go. He said, "What are you doing, man? Who are you?" I said, "Well, you don't ever give me any information about nothing but athletics."
Yeah.
And I said, "I hope you understand that."
Talk your shit. Go to the camera.
Yes. I mean, I was just being honest. I wasn't being a wise guy. So
no, you're just being transparent.
What actually happened? The coach actually kind of started to like me because I would just, I was in basketball practice, and this white kid said, it was just, I remember his name. His name was Larry Warren. He's about 6'4", 240. He says, "I got this nigga." And then I did like this. Bam!
Woo!
Clocked him.
Yeah. What was the results of that? Because that's crazy.
No, but the coach said, you go downstairs. I said, you heard what he called me? I don't care what he called you. You can't. I said, if you call me now, I got one for you too. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I mean, this was what was going on. And I'm just a calm guy. A blood and a Crip would empty the gun on him.
Yeah.
Then there was a guy from down south standing and he was an All-American football player who played the year before. And he's from Arkansas. And he showed me, he went like this to let me know, he thought this was helping me. He opened his pocket up and there was a 38. He said, "Don't worry. If he touches you, I'm going to kill him." Now he's too deep. He's too deep. We never getting out of here.
You're like, I didn't want this at all.
What the fuck? You dumbass. I don't need no gun to handle him. He's just a cracker. He's an unintelligent animal. Yeah. I don't have to shoot him.
Yeah.
You don't shoot your dog when your dog
bites
barks
somebody.
Yeah. So, but this guy, to be thrown in that situation, the white boy is like, he's trying to, I'm going, shh, don't do it. You're going to get popped.
Hey, I don't want none of y'all to die.
I mean, this was a real story. So
yeah. I don't think anything about you is telling a false. I don't think anybody watching is like, Craig lying.
Well, I'm just a little dumbass
kid.
But all of a sudden, you thrust in that real shit.
Yeah.
So, good thing my man taught me about the hatred, because I would have just encouraged the boy, and then my man would have shot him, and I'd still be in jail, or either dead.
Yeah. Yeah, the discipline you had to have at that time to like navigate the world. And this is this is subtracting any bit of art that is already challenging. Yeah, this is just life.
This is just life, man.
Yeah. So then to come from that, something else I commend about you and kind of the environment that you've cultivated, there's no jadedness, at least outwardly, in your practices.
No. Well,
you work with everybody.
Yeah, I'm a performer. So what you learn in front of an audience, as you well know as a comedian, that you have one gig to do, one job to do, and that is to entertain so that people will say, do it again.
Yeah.
So that's really, it comes down to that. If you can tell all the jokes in the world and people getting up and getting beers and not listening, that's the last night. You're not going to get invited back.
Yeah.
If I start singing and people do this, that's the cold hard truth about an entertainer. So I learned how to make sure people stayed in their seats. We couldn't play athletics because ultimately I couldn't do what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to ride his Johnson. That's what he really wanted me to do. Yeah. Answer with the whip. Yeah. So we began to sing. We made a group up.
What was the group's name? Do you remember?
Yeah, we got signed. The group's name was Showtime 1 and 2, and one of the guys, Carl Maybone's brother, was the manager who grew up with Isaac Hayes, and they grew up in Memphis together, Tennessee.
Oh shit!
And so they invited us to open. By this time, my brother was in school with me. We had two of my brother played the bass, and we organized the show, did the show. When we came off the stage, Isaac Hayes was sitting in the dressing room with contracts.
Dang, and this is Isaac Hayes at the peak of...
Well, this is Isaac. He had just won the first ever black person or person of color to win an Oscar for a movie which was Shaft.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he just won an Oscar for the...
and y'all got signed immediately. So now, okay, this is interesting because me and Allison, we talk about it all the time about fame back in the day or success is like you would do a random show like that and Isaac Hayes would sign you.
Well, the fact he came back in the room and he said, "Who did that music?" Yeah. So, my brother played the bass, so he said, my brother did, we did it. We grew up in music all our life. He said, you guys' ears, where did you get them ears? And then as we told him that story I just told you about, father playing, we ultimately, eventually we went down to Memphis and he offered my father a job to
play?
To work with him. But
wow.
My father was, I guess he didn't, he said, I already got a gig, man. I don't need, thanks, but no thanks.
So y'all got signed to Isaac Hayes at this point.
Well, to Stax record. Now Stax had Al Green, they had the Mad Lads, they had, it was a great label. It's a label that Otis Redding was from Stax, all these different people. Eddie Floyd was from Stax. Knock, the guy did knock on wood. It was a big label. It was a Motown of the South.
A bunch of OG classics. So, question: after getting signed, what was there a month? Because you're still young at this point. You're still what? 18, 20?
We're like 20, 19, 20.
Did you now? Because this is when getting signed really meant something. Did you lose your mind? You start girls and everything?
No. So, I told you I grew up in my father's house. So we're very disciplined. We've been working up in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities in that area, basically starring in that whole area. The place, if you saw Prince's, what was the name of his first movie?
Was it not Purple Rain?
Yeah, well, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
In that movie, they played in a establishment that we first, 8 years earlier, made that very popular place. In Minneapolis, in the Midwest in general, there's, it's not New York, it's not LA, it's not Chicago, so their night scene becomes regionally very, very, very popular. And you become a star, more or less, you know? So we did well in that area. We even went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for that section of of the United States, the Northwest, whatever it is. But what happened, ultimately, my brother passed away.
Condolences.
Yeah, but they killed him. And so...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the common thing was that he caught spinal meningitis and that he died from that, but he did not. Because we were famous, once it became known that he was sick, all the little girls and shit from our time as
the
group stars up there, they all showed up. The doctor saw little white kids crying, little white girls, and he shot them up with adrenaline, and his heart arrested. And he did it on purpose. So at first we thought he died from spinal meningitis. That's what they thought that they were treating when he got in there. But when all the little white kids came in there, and woo, and they're all crying and shit, this cracker.
Damn.
Yeah, so you gotta watch the mind. The mind is a murderer. And they killed him. And so I learned about that from my father again, because I went home and I said, you think Lewis died the way they said, but he was killed. And so I thought I was being honorable. I went to my father, I said, now, Dad, we're famous. I'm telling you, if I let these street dudes that used to follow us around, the guys...
Just regular people who were like, y'all guys.
Yeah, but they were you guys who, everybody got a street game going on. These are the guys who were selling the drugs or whatever. They always followed entertainers.
Yeah.
So they became our friends, I never participated in that because I couldn't keep my voice. I was sniffed up or heroin up,
Not that you didn't want to. You're just it's gonna ruin the voice.
You know what? I was corny. I didn't really want to.
Really?
That never was a thing with me.
Yeah.
So, but we knew them, and I said, Dad, I can bring you back a hair of this doctor's head, for real. So here I am, young, stupid. This is why they declare war. Old men fight, and then they send young guys over to fight the war, because all they got to do is point their way, and their dumb ass will go anywhere.
You're putting mafia hits out, ain't never been in a gang and nothing.
Nothing. So I love my brother. You killed him, I want to kill you.
Yeah.
But parenting. So Pop says, he was a dumbass. What's wrong with you? So now let me get this right. They murdered Lou, according to you. Now, you ain't have enough balls to go get it yourself. You know, you brought this foolish, lying, demonic ass shit back to me. You want me to put the hand on the gun too, so we both can go to hell. He's a comedian. He said you're a dumbass. He said you got bigger than me, but you that much dumber. We're not killing nobody. Fool.
Yeah.
Stop it. I said, yeah, but they killed Lou. Yeah, but no, the devil gonna kill me and you, and he gonna use my son to do it. And
damn.
This ain't a movie, stupid. Don't follow their movies. They kill each other and get up and get scaled. It's like dumb.
All right, good scene. It don't end that way.
No, it don't end that way.
You die. Yeah.
So all the time learning.
Adapting.
After this, I went home and started doing auditions. I auditioned for Joe and Sylvia Robinson, vis-a-vis this kid Nate Edmonds, who arranged her music. That's the moment. Said, I found love on a two-way street. Matter of fact, when you hear that lick on Alicia Keys, dun, 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 that guy playing the piano is Nate Edmonds, who did the song that I later did for the Sugar Hill Gang, Here I Am.
Yeah, I heard that record too. Found it on YouTube.
Yeah, so we began to, I began to work just with other groups, man, on my own. The other group disbanded, and I learned in the pros what I'm teaching. I learned around the OJs and the Dells and Patti LaBelle and Betty Wright and, the real people that were Shy Lights.
And it expanded from the discipline that your father kind of instilled early. And so you kind of, it sounds like you always, no matter what era of your life you were in, you always seeked that same tutelage.
Well, good parenting. So he saw what we liked. He said, oh, y'all like music. Okay. So a couple of weeks, he came home with two horns. He came home with a trumpet and a trombone, me and my brother again. And so he put the trumpet and the trombone, all we saw was shiny. He said, ooh, these are shiny. Oh, look how shiny they are. We had no idea. He said, I don't want to hear about shiny. This is a book. These are the notes. He showed us how to finger the notes. He said, this was the note. Now I'm leaving the horns here. I got to go. I'll be back this evening. I'm going to see if you
pick up anything.
If you guys do what I told you to do.
Yeah.
Well, what we did, we noticed the horns were shiny. Well, we ain't pay that no mind. When he left, that was it. Two shiny horns. We went and did whatever the hell we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Then when he came back, he said, "Okay, I want to see what you know." Well, you're 7, 8 years old, 8, 9 years old, like that. And so we picked up the horn. He said, "Blow it." He said, "You didn't study this. Let me take these horns. I'm gonna take." We said, "No, Daddy, please don't."
They're shiny.
They're shiny. We'll take the horn. We'll study. So eventually we studied, and he said, "Okay, now these are the notes." So that's how, just parenting. Yeah. I was a dumbass. If I don't have a parent to point me to it, come on, all of you. What the hell?
Yep.
Come on, we don't know. That's why you got good. That's why you have parents. That's why they try to break the family up today.
Yeah.
So our family, Malcolm said it was going to happen. Malcolm said, all right, they're going to take the family, give you welfare, lock the guys up in the street for making the only way you can earn a living available, selling drugs. They're going to lock you up, break up your family, and then when the guy gets out of jail and you want to come back, they're going to take the welfare away. You can't let him in the house. That's the way you've been living. He has no job. He's an ex-con.
He can't help.
Can't help.
Yeah.
And I mean, what he was saying was absolutely true.
Yeah, and you've always reinforced, and now that you've described all of this to me, seeing how Craig Derry Vocal Boot Camp it's like, and a lot of who are some of my closest friends experienced you through the elements of like a father figure, where it's like that's what you do, because you not only you teach music, but it's also you cultivate a community of people. Right.
Well, if you're a boxer and you're a trainer, I liken our industry to any form of athletics, even martial arts, where you have to really be smart up here, focused here, understand your repertoire and what you got to do, and then don't allow the audience to lift you beyond your consciousness. But if you do a good job, you come off stage, you're going to get tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like bang, 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 bang. You can be bang. What's that comedian's name? Bang, bang, bang. Who was that?
Oh, that was Pops. John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. Do the pop.
You could be banging until the next gig.
Yep.
If you don't understand.
Yeah.
So
and teaching those regimens. That's not easy. And you've been doing, because how long have you officially been teaching?
I came out of school 70.
Jesus
70,
Christ.
70, 71.
And been teaching that whole time.
Well, I mean, I was performing. I learned the game. So I told you all those things I just told you happened during that time.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you stayed in college, you didn't have to go to Vietnam. My wife's brother died in Vietnam. He was killed in Vietnam.
And this is the wife that I currently know, or before that?
No, this is my wife now.
Okay.
So that was a real thing, just to be old white cats argue about what they're gonna do, and then instead of going to war, they pretend that they got something wrong with their ankle and they become president.
My foot. I have to stay.
Bone spurs. I'm not. But this is America is amazing now. Look, I'm not cracking on him, but you need to see your environment.
Yeah.
Here's a person now who, because of his status and his stratus, was able to not go serve in the military. This is why America is amazing.
Yeah.
This is a guy that held his ankle instead of going. He said, I can't go. He was whining and shit. Oh no, my ankle hurts. Now he's the commander-in-chief. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Anything's possible.
Only in America.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? I guess it doesn't amaze y'all. That amazes. I'm gonna say this again. That amazes me. Why do you even expect to find anything but that type of mentality when you talk to this person?
Yeah.
He's slick. He's like a hustler.
Yeah.
I admire the hustler. Not to stay out of his way too. He ain't talking no sense into that. You can talk some dollars, but not sense.
Because ultimately, it's like he does whatever is necessary to make it happen. And
Yeah.
that can be a pro with the right person, and it can be bad.
I mean, you have to be an adult. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as an entertainer, you're performing under that understanding, and then it becomes real. Like no other country in the world has ever. This natural resource that you do and I do and that great actors and actresses do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm teaching what I learned in front of an audience to kids. Not in school. In school, they didn't want me to shout. I had to sing like, every day was a funeral.
Yeah.
You're in a funeral.
But then what you come in with? What's the real soul?
Come on, man, you know the real Michael. Even Elvis. When Elvis was when I was young, 9, 10, when Elvis came on TV, every woman in the house, adults, oh my God, they would be going crazy. So I asked my mom, why? What is this? She says, well, you too young. You don't understand. You'll see later.
Yeah.
And we saw later, he was able, by the way he did what he did, to keep an audience going bananas.
Yeah, gotcha.
He deserved his kudos. He did so well that his own family, the white family, said, you can't sing with us. You sound like them Nigers. Look up Niger, Acts 13:1. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, Craig.
Acts 13:1.
Yeah.
You sing like those Nigers. Paul, Simeon, Peter. It names them.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas ass Christians. Y'all ain't got a clue. But Niger. So they banned him to where? The black women picked him up and took him to the black church and showed him how to keep rhythm and allowed him to sing.
And that soul.
And man, he had soul. Well, he's an Italian. They used to lynch Italians. You Italians know.
Yo, to look at the camera and yell, you Italians know.
Well, they used to lynch you.
Yeah.
Or I got friends, Italian friends, that they would say, they were moolies. They would call them moolies.
There you go.
Yeah, the moolies.
So you always stay with such a poignant point of educating.
Yes.
I was telling Aaron behind the camera, we were all reminiscing about a time where it's like some white people they'd hire you to do some voice, like to help them with their voice.
Yes.
But they were doing something. He was like, crackers. I'm here to help.
Well, look, they wanted to finance the program, but we had gotten this popular using this.
Yeah.
So it would be like telling Dave Chappelle or Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy or any of you, we like the way we're really amazed at your class, your art form, your skill level. We want you to perform over here, but don't use any of that.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that you don't. We want to, whiteify your shit.
Yeah.
So that you can. So they looked at me and all my guys around me were saying, please don't mess this up. I said, get out, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Get out. Why would you? You're here. You don't even want me to tell your own kids the truth.
What is that thing that keeps you so locked into not being caught up in, because a lot of artists in general, they make some money or get proposed some money, and they be like, all right, let me just go by the rules. I'll do this because this will get me just a bag. You seem very true to being genuine with what got you here. Like, what's the quote? Leave the party with the girl that brought you here kind of situation?
Well, listen, it's parental again. So it's what my parents stressed and my grandmother and them. So I had to be true to that. I love working and we were able to entertain audiences. So I'm teaching that. But I did not have to bend over and give the Roman salute.
Yo, for the people paying attention to this episode, there's gonna be a bunch of lines that you go like. That's what you call it.
Yes, I didn't have to.
The Diddy two-step, if that makes you feel better.
Here's the question: did he or didn't he? What's the Italian thing? To be or not to be? Shakespeare.
Did he or did he not?
To be or not to be? Did he or did he not?
Yeah.
I'm not a Diddy. I'm just corny. So the corny guy is the one that's, I'm just corny, that's all.
That's so crazy. And so many people I would consider you mad cool.
I'm corny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just corny. So when when it came time to sniff the cocaine in the car, again, it's my parents. Come on, man, look what we got. It's okay, man. I said, well, what is it? It says this new, man, wait, that's what it is, man, just do it. I said, oh, man, you stupid as hell. Hey, now you want me to put something inside of me that just because you say it's okay? You out your mind, man. We were in Central Park. I said, pull a car over. He said, where you going? I'm getting out, man. You guys out your mind.
Y'all gonna fuck around and crash.
I said, no, man, you ain't gotta get out, man. I said, let me see what that is. I put it on the tip of my tongue. Next thing I know, my whole front of my face is frozen. I can't feel my food. I can't taste the food. What the fuck is up? Y'all, you guys like this shit?
I can't feel my food is the funniest way to describe getting coke high a little bit.
Yo, I don't want this. Fuck you.
I like chewing, man.
Yes, please. Food has a reason for being.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
So they, a couple of them tried to get, I said, well, pull a car over, man. If you can make me eat this shit, sniff it, then I'm going to do it. Yeah. Who's first?
Yeah, he's like, you got to fight me first. Yeah, that's the only way to make it happen.
They was all about feel good. So then they said, oh man, you always you a vibe killer. No, all I really want to do is make sure I don't mess around and do it myself. You good?
Yeah.
So now all my boys did that. They're all dead. Oh, it's my boys. They're all, I can name niggas right now. I won't do it. Dead. That is a motherfucking doornail.
That damn cocaine.
Dead. No, it's the person who put that in our neighborhood because they want us dead.
Yeah.
That's the deep part of this shit.
Yeah. It's not falling for all the traps that are that are there.
Man. No, it's not. You're going to say, it's the white man, ain't the white man, it's the black man. No. See, what I They didn't explain to y'all. I'm down with that nigga Jesus.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Y'all call him Jesus. Anybody's Hispanic in the room? What does the word Jesus mean?
Well, I think it's Jesus, if I'm not mistaken.
It means Zeus. Yeah. Ain't no way in hell that guy ever heard anybody call him Zeus. Mm-hmm. So that's the first trick you got to get over. And they wouldn't lynch Zeus. They would have an orgy with Zeus because Zeus like orgies. Right?
Yo, come on, man. No, you know what's funny? In every media, that's the one thing that they keep about Zeus. He might have different powers, but orgies is always in the pool.
Zeus is the man. So now you rename the only way out.
Oh, so someone tried to walk in at orgies with Zeus, which is crazy. You good. Come on by real quick. We're filming at a comedy club, so lots happening.
We stand not against anybody earning a living.
Yeah.
So if we're sharing space, we're sharing space.
Yeah, which I like thoroughly appreciate. And it's like you stay so locked in to family, to discipline, to just positivity and love, but also, because you mentioned something earlier that I loved a lot. You said your father made you aware of the other side. Yeah. When you say other side, meaning negativity or whatever. Yes,
how they will come against us. Mm-hmm. So he said, he was, first of all, he's a strong believer in Christ. Mm-hmm. So he was so into the word where he was a musician. I guess he was playing with Heidi Cab Calloway. He was playing with him in Baltimore, mm-hmm. or one of them. And after the show, he would walk the streets of Baltimore preaching, which is not very wise. Yeah. You know, somebody who knows the story of the one you call Christ would say, "Oh man, he wasn't very wise, man. Why you let him hang him?" Yeah. He like volunteered to get lynched. Mm-hmm. But my old man was, "You're good, honey.
You good? Come on, don't worry about it. Thank you."
Does anyone have Advil?
What does she need?
You want an Advil or have an Advil? I do not.
We do have an Advil.
You do?
Oh my God, really?
See, Craig comes in the clutch. Craig comes in the clutch.
No. Yeah. See, now I'm gonna go back to my parents again. If I know that you need an Advil, and I got an Advil, and I don't give it to you, I ain't shit. That's my mom and them.
Yeah. If you just walk by and like, I got that shit, but whatever. Yeah.
Here you go. There's an Advil. Really now, my wife and I had a doctor as a client, and the doctor told us all the other aspirins, Tylenol, whatever it is, are not really good for your insides. But an Advil, so that's why since she told me that, I've been carrying them all the time.
This is the most Craig episode that I love this. I love this so much.
I'm just stupid. I know how to listen.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yep.
Thank you.
I
See, you're always prepared.
Well, I'm not always prepared, but okay. I'd like to be prepared.
Okay.
You know? So that's good.
Yeah. And what are because in this series, I always like people kind of taking insights to the pros and cons of things. What are some of the things that you see artists do that you're like, I wouldn't recommend this?
Well, if the one thing is the different forms of study. So the music that is preferred by the majority of the population comes from the culture of the majority of the population. It's European culture. It's operatic or classical music. Mm-hmm. And the common mantra is the two can't go together. Mm-hmm. You can't sing the modern music with the
operatic and the classics.
But it's not so. There's a performance online with James Brown, Luciano Pavarotti. They're singing "This Is a Man's World." James Brown wrote that. Both of them, I always recommend for kids to go check, so you can see that we are juxtaposed together. We live side by side. If you grew up in New York, anywhere where it's multicultural, you can hear your Italian neighbor go, and then the brothers in them that be, hey, or a Latina brother, Latino, I like it like that. I like it like that.
Mhm.
Hold more cornbread than chitlin. I like it like.
I know that ain't the lyrics, but I love that.
That is the lyrics. That's Johnny Pacheco, who I sang with.
Yeah.
I did background for him. Worked with his son,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the lyric. The storyline does this: the Latin guy, the Puerto Rican guy, singing salsa, merengue. Merengue is Santo Domingo, salsa is Puerto Rico, and the other areas. But he was singing that. The name of the song is "I Never Go Back to Georgia." I never go back. This is during the civil rights era, where a Latino guy who you couldn't tell was black. Only by his hair, he looked like a white man. Mm-hmm. But he said, I never go back to Georgia. So he was, in those days, like the last poets, they were realigning our community to include both Latin, Caribbean, and so-called African Americans. So now we're divided. Now the Latino is a Latino, the West Indian, he got his gang, and then the African, the Americans, y'all really dumb. You got the Bloods and the Crips. Blood inside the body is blue, but the color for blue is the Crip. And then blood outside the body is red, and the Bloods call themselves blood. They really both Bloods. They're killing each other over the same color.
Bunch of bullshit.
No education.
Yeah.
And we murdered each other because of color. Dumb. So clearly the devil's in charge.
Yeah.
And the only way out is the real Christ, not Zeus.
Yeah. Locking into.
Yeah. So you can tell jokes that way. The medicine goes down better with a little honey. You ain't gotta be beating people. So that's my choice. It's a free country. Mm-hmm. You know, and this is what I do. I've had people tell me, don't do that. Hey man, this is who I am. Here we go.
And it always works for you, because something that's even the more amazing thing to me, that I don't know how you do it. You don't really promote, in the sense of like, you're not doing a shit ton of commercials everywhere.
No.
But every artist of every stature, especially within music that I've come across, knows who you are, has worked with you from different elements of their life. Like, you continue to work. You really know how to make a living as an artist.
Well, I wish I do it better. It's only being paid as a teacher. You know, the teachers don't get no money. Teachers are this. Well, we should pay teachers and the nurses. Mm-hmm. Today, the nurses are the doctors, because they're the ones that's on the floor all day long, all night long. It's the nurses. They know how to put the thing in. They know how to check the blood. They know how to do all that. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing with us. You're teaching what really you're not being paid for the honor of not the honor, but the knowledge.
Yeah. So
the knowledge is what connects you, and you have to be able to do the work. As long as you can do the work and teach it and prepare people to do that so they're on stage, then you're relevant. So that's really what I'm doing. It's parental. They just taught me about that. The one they called Jesus, you know, they had me all into that. Now, much different. My father's a jazz artist. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to finish this story about my father being in the back alley after he got finished doing the gig.
Yes.
And then he was back there talking, we must repent. We must repent and follow the teachings in the life of Jesus. So this is in Baltimore.
Yeah.
My mother was pregnant with me, so this is like in the 40s, the late 40s. And Baltimore's always been wild. Baltimore didn't start getting wild just because of the show The Wire.
Oh, it's been fucked up the whole time.
all the streets. Malcolm talked about it, what was going to happen. It's been going on a long time. So he's in the back alley. This is how serious people will call him a dumbass. What are you doing, that cracker Jesus?
Yeah.
You back here talking that white boy Jesus in the alley full of black. And we don't like no white boy, and especially the one Jesus. So, repent. Mm-hmm. So two dudes show out of the alley and going to kill him. Mm-hmm. And they're talking to an old man that can't be seen in the alley. So they say, we don't kill this nigga. A little dumbass back there telling about this cracker ass Jesus. Cracker ass Jesus got us in slavery, got us in this neighborhood. We don't care about this white ass Jesus. Can we kill him? They asking permission to kill my father.
Yeah.
The old man says, no, you can't kill that one. He said, why? We could taste his blood. He said, no, you don't mess with him. He was for real. He said, we must repent. He put his dumb alley walking ass in there right with you and me.
He said it was all of us.
It was all of us.
Yeah.
And that saved his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we all have no matter what parent or what person is telling you something that's relevant in your life, that stays with you. So it wasn't so much the story that the culture taught about Christ.
Yeah.
It was how my father practiced the true.
Yeah. The Barry White line, practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach. Yeah. So when he said that to me, now I'm like him. I'm scratching my head. Wow. So there's a way that this foolishness can work.
Yeah.
But you got to say you first got to pick your dumb ass up and correct your dumb ass first.
Yeah.
But once you do that, then you're qualified to train or teach.
And
or,
help the masses.
Illustrate. Because at least you're coming from the same place, not this, what's common today. I got the award, so I am the reward.
Yeah, the judgy, like, you actually never really went through the, like, mud and all of that.
Yeah.
And then you come in just like, you know what you guys need to do? You need to save up. That's the only reason you're poor. It's nah, bro, some other things affect you too.
I mean, the thieves are, Prince had a song called There's Thieves in the Temple Tonight. That's deep, man. Because now in the temple it's supposed to be the Christs, not the thieves.
Yeah.
But now we got the thieves. And how can you get the Christ if you don't admit that you was once a thief and now you've been healed?
Yeah.
But now, so I'm dumb. I believe that, and so I teach that. It's, it hasn't always worked, and it's still a struggle. I don't care. I'm doing what I was taught to do.
Yeah.
I ain't Christ-like. That's for sure. We're Americans, so by the time you get from 18 to 38, you've been to every party, done everything you want.
You done all the shit. You ain't do the coke though. That's the only thing you ain't do.
You know what? I told you the cocaine makes it hard for me to taste candy. I can't taste my candy. So I didn't want no cocaine. It's not because I was good.
I got another vice that I like more.
So I ain't getting away with my candy. Especially
I wish you had a moment to talk to my father, because that's the most like my father I've ever heard you say. Cocaine made me not like candy.
Yeah, I can't taste my candy. So your father knows, because he raised up a son that he was also trying to help.
Yeah.
Your mother too.
Yeah.
All parents want to help you escape the things they got stuck in.
Yeah.
No matter what color. Come on.
Yeah.
You need to stop talking about color. There's only two colors, alive and dead.
Yeah. And you reinforce that because you have children of your own. They're doing very well. Play.
They all right.
Oh, you're right. These are my friends, so I try to hold it down. Send me my bad.
Yeah. No, they all right. I have children. My wife is not my first wife, so I have children. I am a black man. So I don't care about the Pope and what he thinks. His culture is not my culture. When the Pope has a son, he can tell me what to do with my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at him.
Yeah.
But I ain't listening to you tell me about nothing about no kids, and you ain't got no kids. I mean...
Yeah. You know what you need to do with your kids? What are you talking about?
You need to go get some kids.
And then learn.
Yeah, and stop hanging out with the nuns, who you adequately named none, because y'all act like you ain't doing none, but you doing nuns. And you don't have no kids.
Yeah.
So...
I can't get advice from you because you didn't go through it.
No, you ain't go through it, man. And
Yeah.
you're not telling, you really don't come. You come from none. You don't come from some. You come from none.
I love the lines, and
Yeah.
it's like it's poignant because to me, and people watching this too, I think it's like, all right, so many people go through this journey of life, artistry, all of it, and remove themselves from the pains of it, because like once they make certain things happen, succeed in a certain way, they be like, you know what, it was all good. Thank Christ, it was all wins. But you're coming from just an honesty of like,
there's gravity, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was all wins, we could just stand up, float, go to the moon without gravity or anywhere else we want.
Yeah.
Talk our ridiculousness and then head back. There is gravity. Gravity is necessary.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to come back down.
Yeah, well, there's gravity and there's anti-gravity. So you need both.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to train. Then I train what I learned because I didn't know. I was in college basically being given an A called excellence for learning how not to be excellent. And what I mean by that is the system and the culture that I study music with hears 12 less notes than my culture, the ancient culture. Mm-hmm. So ancient culture, that's, I don't care, it's Muslims, Jews, Indians, so-called Africans, Siberians, the Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiians, ancient people.
Yeah, people older than American, older than 200 years.
Yeah, that culture that goes back into ancient times. Egypt, they sing with a different scale. There's 12 more notes. They call it R&B today. Mm-hmm. But when I was coming up, this thing about affirmative action, I took affirmative action seriously. So if you can get affirmative action in the music business for hearing 12 less notes and then go into the pop realm, you heard the term crossover. Mm-hmm. So you want to cross over, you're not just want to cross over because there's more whites there. Mm-hmm. You're crossing over because there's more rights there. And what are your rights? You have a right to be accepted like you hear 24 or 12 more tones than you're hearing. And the ones who hear 24 tones have to stay down here and fight it out among themselves and with radio stations, that only have 12,000 watts, WWRL, WNJR, all little black stations that come on at sun up and go off at sundown. You hear 24 more tones, but you have 12 less hours to express your superiority.
Yeah, wow.
So the affirmative action then is given to the people who hear 12 less tones. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name them. You know what they are. They call it pop. Mm-hmm. They got 50,000 watt stations. They end up being the Elvises and the Beatles because they got a head start from what they didn't begin as the origin and the creators of the art form.
They got a head start with doing half the work.
Well, they have the knowledge. They work hard. But when you only working with 12 notes, and then I got 24, you can't outwork the 24 one unless you learned the other 12 other notes. I learned your 12 notes.
Yeah, and some more.
Yes, well, yes. I had to go to school and learn ba ba woo ba da 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 ba da ba da ba da ba ba. That's just and then there's no rhythm in that. So you have to stand there and not be able to keep the beat.
Yeah, stay super still.
So you got another form of
restriction.
Well, no, they got another form of what we were talking about, privilege. Yeah. So you got privilege for hearing 12 less notes and not being able to keep the beat.
You don't have to.
You can't keep the beat. You look like you got the palsy. But you're being rewarded like you're God who has the palsy.
Look at them all off. Wow, he did it.
So I learned this from James Brown. James Brown.
Yeah.
James Brown taught us in person. James Brown, Quincy Jones, I was a young guy, not knowing them, but around them as they spoke. James Brown had a #1 record. He took the magazine, I think it was Cashbox. At the time, there were several magazines, Cashbox, Billboard, and there was another one. He had eclipsed #1 in all those magazines. So he went down south. He had more money than God. But it was apartheid at the time, it was only black and white stations. So he went to this white station because he knew that it had 50,000 watts, and he thought that if he proved to them that he was qualified because he had the #1 record among whites and blacks, that they would play his record.
Yeah.
But he went in there and said, "Hey, who's running the station? I wanted me to talk to somebody." And the owners came out and said, "Nigga, what are you doing in here?" We don't play your record. He said, yeah, but look, Billboard, I'm number one. I'm above everybody, even Elvis. It's me. Nigga, we told you. You get your black ass out of here now.
Sometimes being the best doesn't really make a difference.
And so James, but see now, James could have did like you all young people do today. You sulk, or you go, you sniff some drugs and you feel bad, or you go beat your woman, or you do some stupid shit. Or you go to therapy, and then the doctor hustles your therapeutic ass into going into a room. I just had work with a client, work with somebody close to us, who the therapist couldn't crack the code. So they created a room and gave him a hammer and charged them $2,000 to go in a room and break up shit as if that's therapy.
I can do that.
Yeah. Dumb.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So here's what James Brown did. James Brown said, no, I get it. He went, left the studio that day. The next day, he went and bought the studio. He went and bought those stations. He bought 3 stations. And he came back the next day, and he showed the same. He said, look, I'm still number one here. I'm going to give y'all one more chance. They never tell this story about James. They want you to think he's a loud-ass, no brain having, just a stupid monkey.
Yeah.
But this dude brought the stations.
Yeah.
And he was nice. He was charitable. He came back and gave the Klan another chance to not be the Klan. And they still said, get out. You know what he told me? You get out. This is the deed. I'll own the land. And don't call the sheriff, because I got something for the sheriff if he don't take care of my land. That's James Brown. That's what happened. That's why things are the way they are now. Mm-hmm. Not just because we was afraid to walk across a bridge.
Nah, there were people really doing it.
There were really people doing it. And then, and it was more than a bridge, because once Martin Luther King, Medgar, and Martin, M couldn't be out-talked, they killed him. Yeah. They shot him. Yeah. So don't come talking this nonviolent stuff to me. Even Christ, you call yourself a Christian, but Christ says, I think he was talking to the people who killed John the Baptist, who ultimately lynched him. Mm-hmm. He said, you say, let me get this right. He says, you say that if you were with your fathers back in the day, that you wouldn't have killed the prophets like your fathers did. This is right in the scriptures. I've never heard anybody preach this. Yeah. I've been to church, all of them, synagogues. I never heard anybody say this. This is the words of the real Christ, the one y'all renamed Zeus. Mm-hmm. He said, if you would have said that you are related to your fathers who killed the prophets, we're not like them, then fill up the measure of your fathers. You admit that they killed him, so correct the wrong then. Yeah. Instead, you kill the prophets of your era and you join the sin of your fathers. You have a chance to make it right and you don't do it. Every generation. Every generation. Yeah. Black, white, I'm not talking about color, I'm talking about behavior. Yeah. There are blacks who have a culture where they're running stuff, and then because they don't like it, they'll put a bullet in their head to the one they don't like. It no matter what color it was, they wanted that stuff. Yeah, because it's what you reference as the devil, darkness, the negative energy, whatever you call it. It's a human problem. It ain't got a flower's a flower. I don't care if it's orange, red, or yellow. You're still a flower. If I pick the flower up and they take it out the garden, you're gonna die. Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with now. So that type of the one thing, let's be positive, and I can close it out by saying this. If you really want for yourself and you want for others what you want for yourself, then that you have to become wise. And you have to realize that the one who is really in charge is the one that made us all look like 2 eyes, ears, nose, and a mouth. He's gonna judge us. Hair on the top of your head, balls of your feet on the bottom of your shoes, bottom of your feet. You're going to be judged. We all look alike, 2 eyes, ear, nose, and a mouth. I don't care what color. We have to begin to pass the tools and the necessities we need to get the job done. If you're a singer, you want to keep people in the seats. If you're an actor, then you want to make sure that people understand the story you're pretending to tell, you're acting to tell. If you're a doctor, you want to heal. You're a teacher, you're a policeman, policewoman, you want to keep the order. You know, and I know it sounds pure,
Yeah.
but it is pure if you do what you're supposed to do. That's what we teach. I don't know if it works or not. I do know that people keep coming, so I keep teaching.
I love that.
And that's it. I don't make too much of myself. I ain't scared. I mean, I know who Christ is.
Yeah.
And I know what he looks like. And now this DNA, I'm going to give you one more thing.
Okay.
These people know now, the people who have been lying about who Christ is, there's DNA now. You know, when Daniel was first shown about the modern times and the times we live in now, he wanted to know, he begged the angel, man, come on, tell me. This is. I know. He says, go your way, Daniel. You too will sleep now, but you will rise up with your people and you will be judged at the end time like all humanity. And this will take place when knowledge increases. There'll be no way to not know the truth. Well, we live in that time.
Yeah.
So when you go into somebody's DNA, their molecular structure, and you scrape the bones down in Egypt, you know you white folks love to rob them graves. You're a bunch of grave, y'all is the grave robbiness. Woo, and then you take them back to your museum and you put them up, the body and all of the dead people, and you charge $5.95 to go watch dead people. But one thing you do know, you scrape that DNA and you know the number of that DNA is the same number of the certain people you scraped here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't match the lie anymore.
Yeah.
You can't scrape the DNA of somebody from Amsterdam, goddamn, and have it be the same DNA as somebody in Egypt.
Yeah.
Or in the Congo.
It's a different.
Yes, it's different DNA.
The lies not adding up, man.
They're not adding up. So now you still got a chance to all of us as people. I wouldn't care if Christ is chartreuse. If somebody can put my hand, this is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
If somebody can,
we trying to beat the camera, but we got you.
Yo. If somebody can put my hand on my coffin,
Yeah.
and then I get out of there and do the boogaloo, I'm with him. I can get out of there and sing a song. I wouldn't care if I fall out in the street and a 6'5" transvestite. Everybody that's cool, everybody that has a gender, the males and the females walk by me across the street. But that funny chartreuse hair wearing 9-inch heel transvestite says, oh, he's falling. Wait a minute. And he give me mouth to mouth and I get up,
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Yeah.
Or her, or whatever the hell he called himself.
You and whoever's spreading the truth.
The truth,
love.
the righteousness.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I love that.
That's
I
what
love
it is. That's what we teaching.
Craig, I thank you dearly for coming. I thank you for being you and what you give to the world.
Hey,
I mean
man.
that.
I mean, bro.
Oh, you gonna leave me here? I'm gonna just get
You're
this
welcome.
to myself.
You're welcome.
Thank you always.
Oh, man.
Thank y'all for watching this episode, y'all.
Be well, y'all.
I love you. Peace.